I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking to start an agency, I can tell you, I don't have time. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long career as a successful seven-figure agency owner. Skills that make me the cold email king. If you let your fear go now, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you, and I will help you start your own agency. Even I didn't know where to start, what to sell, how to organize my time. I wish someone would have just sent me a daily plan so that I didn't have to think twice and procrastinate on my agency. Well, that's why I made Agency Action Plan, a complete 10-week plan for you to finally get your agency going. For 10 weeks, I am your personal agency trainer, giving you plans on what to sell, how to sell it, how many cold emails to send, how many cold calls to do. If you follow this plan by heart and give your best, I guarantee that you're going to get at least 3 clients paying $1,000 each, or I'll give you a complete refund. Join today at agencyactionplan.com.
It is a lovely day here in India. I'm by the pool. I'm wearing sunglasses. I'm shirtless. And I wanted to talk to you about how to identify and escape the Matrix. The Matrix, dated reference at this point. But what is the Matrix? Matrix is a movie where this guy is living in the real world, call it the real world, and all of a sudden he realizes that everything around him is a lie. All of the promises, all of the constructs that he has bought into are actually fake, and he can do whatever he wants. And the reason why the Matrix is a good parable for our lives is it's exactly that. We are all living in the Matrix in one way or another. And it's only by escaping the Matrix that we can live the life we want to live. What does that mean? That means you have full control over who you are, how you dress, what you want to do with your day, etc. But society is trying to make you lose that control every second. So for instance, it's Friday or whatever. I don't even really know what day it is today. It's someday, sometime. I'm by the pool. I'm in India. And some might say it's office hours. You know, maybe I should be working. And yeah, technically making these videos is my work, but nobody told me that. Nobody told me to make these videos. We created our own life. We escaped the Matrix and we did this. So how do you identify that you're living in the Matrix, and how do you remove yourself from it? How do you take the red pill? Oh, that has been co-opted so hard. How do you take a pill to remove yourself from the Matrix? Well, it starts by identifying what you actually want to do. So for instance, for me, I put a lot of value on freedom. Freedom of time. I want to be able to spend my time doing whatever I want. Freedom of movement. I want to be able to live anywhere and kind of do anything. Freedom of activity as well. Do anything means do anything. You know, if I want to paint a portrait, I'll paint. If I want to make a song, I'll make a song. If I want to do business, I'll do business. Like, I want that freedom of activity as well. And it starts with identifying that for you. Do you want all 3 of those? Or do you want something else? Do you want, like a good life for your children? Do you want to retire your parents? Things like that. It starts by identifying what that is. For me, though, it was freedom of time, which meant in order to escape the Matrix, I needed to hire a team to run all the businesses that we run, right? We need a CEO at X27 to do that. We need someone running Simple Apps. We needed someone doing the course sales. We need Div doing the YouTube and this kind of content. Now, if my goal instead was to retire my parents, maybe I would do all that work myself and pocket, 10 to 20 times more income as myself, right? But because I have time freedom as my number one goal, I would rather hire other people and make less money and be able to chill right now outside, shirtless in the sun. I am so pale. I'm glad I'm getting some sun right now because I need it. And I hope I fall asleep out here, and I hope I get so sunburned that this Ganesh gets burned into me and I have a little circle. All right? That's what I hope. So how do you identify and escape the matrix? One, it starts by identifying what you want to do, exactly that. Then you should automatically see everywhere that the matrix is holding you back. So, for instance, when I was working at that startup in New York City, not the agency, before that, I realized I wanted all this stuff. And the first thing that I realized was I want time freedom, but how do I have time freedom if I have to go to an office legit from 9 to 6 and the boss is watching me every second of the day? I don't. So in order to have time freedom, I need to have a job where I don't have office hours. Now I know that. Now you know that. I didn't have freedom of activity because, again, my boss, the setup of this office was the boss was here and we were all in these parallel lines. So he could see all of our computers. We could not see what he was doing. He had full freedom of activity to do whatever he wanted. We didn't have any of that. So if I want freedom of activity, then I needed to work in an office where the boss couldn't see what I was doing every second of the day. So I understood that. I needed a place where the boss couldn't see my activity. I needed a place where I didn't have to be in the office at a certain time. And freedom of location, I needed something or somewhere where I could work from anywhere and do anything. So I then committed to solving that. And what I found out after that was I tried starting a business. It didn't work out. I ended up back at an agency. But through that agency process, I learned so much. I learned that when you start an agency, one, you perform services in a way that doesn't require your hourly output. So for instance, we're sending emails to book clients. People are paying per meeting. They're not paying per hour worked. You're building websites to sell to clients. People are paying per website. They're not paying per hour worked. Now, all of a sudden, you have time freedom, right? And technically, you have freedom of activity because outside of those websites, the client does not care what you're doing. If it takes you an hour to build a website and there's 24 hours in the day, your next 23 hours are free. So that's what I really love about the agency model. And that's why we went all in on starting an agency, because I realized it had all that. Now, you could do the same thing. Either start an agency or start something that gives you all of these freedoms. But it starts with identifying that you're in the matrix. And it doesn't have to just be entrepreneurship. It doesn't have to be these jobs. But it could be identifying things like maybe your parents are always trying to get you to be a doctor. And they've been like subtly influencing you to be a doctor your entire life. Like maybe there's like doctor posters on the wall, or they were making you watch, Dr. McStuffins as a kid. I don't know. Maybe they were making you watch all these doctor shows as a kid, trying to influence you to be a doctor. Well, guess what? You don't have to be a doctor. You can escape that matrix at any time. You don't have to do anything that anyone else wants you to do. Okay, another big thing that I found is time away from technology and time alone, sitting, staring at pools, staring at bodies of water is where a lot of these insights can come from as well. So you're watching YouTube right now. If you really want to tap in and understand where you are in the matrix and how to escape it, you actually need to stop the inputs of YouTube, stop the inputs of Twitter, stop the inputs of other people, your parents, your friends, your family, and go wander around in the woods 3-4 hours, sit by a lake 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe even a full day, no phone, and see what happens. I wouldn't even write anything down. I wouldn't even have a pen and paper. I would just go and sit there. And some of the best insights that I've had were walking around with no phone. I remember the reason why I'm going all in now on business this year, and the reason why our net worth and our income and everything has been flying up this year, is because I had a realization, a come to Jesus moment, if you will, between me and Jesus. I don't really believe in Jesus, but come to Jesus moment. You can get that. It wasn't somebody telling me we needed to get our lives together. It was me and the universe deciding together that we needed to get our lives together. And that happened because I turned my phone off and I decided, okay, by the end of this walk, my life is going to be solved. I'll know exactly what I need to do. Then, phone off, I walked around 4 or 5 hours and I understood. Oh, we need to have something with scale. We need to be running a SaaS. We need to be talking more about business and life on this YouTube channel because we've gone kind of off the rails. So we need to talk more about these tutorials and do all this stuff. I also realized that we need to be investing more in cryptocurrency and stocks because we need to actually be saving money rather than spending money on nonsense. I realized that spending money to support my family is super important. So I need to start paying my brother's rent. I realized that focusing on making our team wealthy is more important than making myself wealthy. So I focused on how do we pay Div more? How do we make Robert and his wife rich? Things like that. And all those insights came on a walk with no phone, wandering around. So I would highly recommend you do that and identify where you're even in the matrix. So go ahead and do that right now. And then maybe come back and watch these YouTube channels, or don't, depending on what you and the universe decide to do together. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know down in the comments, how was the walk? How'd you do it? Or are you going to go do it right now? Leave a comment, then go do the walk. Smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.